perfectly throughout the match. This wasn't just hit hard and hope for the best. This was chess, and Eala was playing like a grandmaster. One specific shot that stood out, the lefty forehand down the line. Here's how it worked. In the ad, court, Eala would pull Valentová wide with a cross-court forehand. Valentová would scramble and hit back cross-court. In Osaka, Eala would continue the cross-court pattern and eventually lose the rally. Today, she changed direction. She'd rip the forehand down the line into the open court. This shot requires incredible timing because the net is higher down the line and the court is shorter, but she hit it with so much topspin that it dipped right inside the baseline. She hit this winner at least 5 times in critical moments, and Valentová had no answer for it. Another smart tactic, the body serve. Instead of always trying to paint the lines with her serve, Eala would aim right at Valentova's body, jamming her and forcing weak returns. It's a mature, intelligent play that shows Eala is thinking about placement over raw power. Look, I could talk about this match for hours, but here's the bottom line. Today in Doha, Alexandra Eala announced herself as a serious contender on the biggest stages. She didn't just win a tennis match. She overcame a mental barrier, proved that hard work pays off, and showed the world that she belongs in the conversation with the best players on tour. The word shock gets thrown around a lot in sports, but today it genuinely applies. Valentová was on a rocket ship trajectory upward. Eala was on a steady climb. Today those paths crossed, and Eala proved that her trajectory is pointing toward the summit too. For everyone watching from the Philippines, from Asia, or anywhere who's been following Eala's journey, savor this moment. This is special. This is what we watch sports for. The drama, the redemption, the pure unpredictability of competition when two athletes leave everything on the court. The tournament isn't over. Eala's got more matches to play, and they're only going to get tougher from here. But if she brings this same intensity, this same tactical intelligence, and this same heart, there's no ceiling on what she can achieve. We'll be tracking every step of her journey through Doha. Next match previews, tactical breakdowns, all the updates. You'll get them right here on this channel. Thanks for watching this breakdown. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the analysis, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about Eala's chances moving forward. The tennis world moves fast, but performances like this deserve to be appreciated and remembered. Today, Alexandra Eala shocked Qatar. Tomorrow? Who knows what she'll do. What's up, tennis fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you're watching from the Philippines, from Asia, or honestly anywhere in the world where you love this beautiful sport, you need to hear this right now. Something absolutely wild just went down in Doha. I'm talking about the kind of result that makes you check the scoreboard twice because you can't believe what you're seeing. We just witnessed a first-round match at the Qatar Total Energies Open that's got the entire tennis community buzzing, and trust me, this is way bigger than just another win. So here's what happened. Alexandra Eala, yes, the golden girl of Philippine tennis, just took down Tereza Valentová in a match that, frankly, most people thought she'd lose. And it wasn't some lucky 3-setter where everything went her way. This was different. This was a statement. Let me set the scene for you. The Khalifa International Tennis and Squash Complex in Doha is hosting one of the biggest tournaments of the year. We're talking WTA 1000 level. That's just one step below the Grand Slams. The prize money is massive, the ranking points are huge, and every top player on the planet is here competing. Now, when the draw came out and Eala saw she was facing Valentová in round 1, you could feel the tension building. Why? Because these two have history. Bad history, at least from Eala's perspective. Last October in Osaka, Valentová absolutely dismantled Eala. The scoreline was brutal, 6-1, 6-2. It was the kind of loss that sticks with you, the kind that makes you wonder if you've got what it takes to compete at this level. Valentova's power game just overwhelmed her that day. Eala couldn't find any rhythm, couldn't get into the rallies, and before she knew it, the match was over. Fast forward to today in Doha, and everyone's expecting a repeat performance. Valentová, who's only 18 years old by the way, just came through qualifying without dropping a set. She's been on fire, reaching the 3rd round at the Australian Open, where she pushed Elena Rybakina, one of the absolute best in the game right now. The bookmakers had Valentová as the favorite, The analysts were talking about how difficult this matchup was for Eala. Everything pointed to the Czech teenager moving through comfortably. But here's the thing about Alex Eala. She doesn't read the script. What we saw today was a completely transformed player. The Eala who lost in Osaka, she's gone. This version in 2026 is faster, stronger, and playing with a confidence I haven't seen from her before. Right from the opening games, you could tell something was different. In their previous match, Eala stood way back on the baseline to return, serve, trying to give herself time against Valentova's power. Today, she stepped inside the baseline. She was taking the ball early, cutting off angles, and immediately putting pressure on. The first breakthrough came in the third game. Valentova was serving, looking comfortable, and then boom, Eala rips 3 return winners and breaks serve. The Filipino fans in the crowd absolutely erupted. And let me tell you, there were a lot of them. The atmosphere was electric. But what really caught my attention wasn't just that break. It was how Eala handled her own service games. See, in the past, when the pressure was on, she'd struggle with double faults or hit weak second serves that got punished. Today, facing a break point at 4-3 in the first set, she fired an ace right down the middle. An ace against one of the best returners in the draw. That moment told you everything. Eala trusted her game. She wasn't playing scared. She closed out the first set 6-4, and the shock was starting to set in. The favorite was down a set, and it wasn't because of luck. Eala was dictating play. Now, Valentova is way too talented to just fold. In the second set, she made adjustments. She started targeting Eala's backhand, trying to keep that dangerous lefty forehand out of the equation. The wind picked up too, swirling around the stadium, and Eala's timing got a bit off. Valentova pounced. She broke early and surged to a 3-1 lead. This was the danger zone. This was where, in Osaka, everything fell apart for Eala. Fans watching the live scores were probably feeling that familiar anxiety creeping in. Valentova was pumped up, screaming after winners, and the power coming off her racket was honestly intimidating. But Eala didn't crack. She saved set points, kept fighting, and even though Valentova took the set 6-4, something was different. Eala looked determined, not deflated. One set all. Everything on the line in the third. This is where champions separate themselves. Most analysts would have favored the younger, harder-hitting Valentova in a physical deciding set. But Eala had clearly done the work in the off-season. Her conditioning was on point. The crucial moment came at 2-2. Valentova was serving, and what followed was an absolute war of a game. 7 deuces. Both players refusing to blink. Eala was scrambling all over the court, retrieving balls that looked like certain winners, and somehow turning defense into offense. Then, on the 8th break point of the game, Eala did something brilliant. With the wind swirling and Valentova pinned behind the baseline, she hit a drop shot. In those conditions, against a power player, it was a gutsy call. But it worked perfectly. The ball barely cleared the net and died on the other side. Valentova didn't even run for it. Break 4. Eala, 3-2 up in the third. From that point on, you could see the belief draining out of Valentova and surging into Eala. The Filipino held serve at love to make it 4-2, then broke again. Suddenly, she was serving for the match at 5-2. This is the moment where nerves can take over. The finish line is right there, but your arm can feel like it weighs 100 pounds. Eala started the game with a double fault, then a backhand error. Love 30. The crowd gasped. But watch what happened next. Eala walked over to her towel, took a deep breath, and reset. Then she played 4 absolutely flawless points. Serve out wide, forehand winner. Ace, service winner. And on match point, after a long rally, she simply outsteadied Valentova, forcing a backhand error into the net. Game, set, match, Eala. Final score, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. The crowd went absolutely crazy. Eala had just beaten a player who destroyed her months ago, and she did it in style. So why is this result such a massive deal? Let me break it down for you. First, the ranking implications are huge. With this win, Eala is virtually guaranteed to break into the top 35, maybe even knocking on the door of top 30. For a player from the Philippines, a country that doesn't have the tennis infrastructure of places like the Czech Republic or the United States, this is genuinely historic. Second, this proves that Eala is not a flash in the pan. She's been grinding on tour for years, steadily improving, and now she's showing she can beat the next generation of stars who are supposed to be the future. Today, she played like the veteran, teaching the teenager a lesson. Third, and this might be the most important part, the mental breakthrough. Losing 6-1, 6-2 to someone creates a psychological barrier. There's a voice in your head saying, "She's just too good for me, I can't handle her power." Eala completely shattered that barrier today. She proved that the Osaka result was either a fluke or a version of herself that doesn't exist anymore. Let me hit you with some stats that show just how complete this performance was. First serve percentage. Eala finished at 68%. In Osaka, she was below 50%. That's a massive difference. You cannot beat a power hitter if you're defending weak second serves all day. Unforced errors. This is the killer stat. Valentová hit 45 winners, but made 52 unforced errors. Eala, 28 winners and only 18 unforced errors. She was the wall. She made Valentová press too hard and make mistakes. Breakpoint conversion. Eala converted 4 out of 6 chances. That's ruthless efficiency. Valentová had 10 opportunities but only converted 2. Eala played the big points better, and that's the definition of clutch. One more thing that's worth mentioning. The crowd support was unreal. The Filipino community in Qatar showed up in force. Banners, flags, chanting Alexa throughout the match. That energy absolutely lifted Eala, especially when she was wobbling in the second set. And honestly, it probably rattled the young Valentová, who's used to neutral or European-friendly crowds. Playing Eala in the Middle East is basically like playing her at home. That's a real advantage, so what does this mean moving forward? Eala advances to the round of 32 with her confidence through the roof. She's adapted to the Doha conditions, she's beaten a dangerous opponent, and she has thousands of fans behind her. Her next opponent, whoever that is, should be looking at this result with genuine concern. Eala is not an easy draw anymore. She's dangerous. If she can replicate this level of serving and tactical smarts, a run to the round of 16 or even the quarterfinals isn't crazy talk. And remember, this is a WTA 1000 event. A deep run here is worth more than winning multiple smaller tournaments. It impacts your seeding for the French Open and Wimbledon. Beyond just Eala's personal success, this victory means something for Asian tennis as a whole. With Chinese players doing well and now Eala representing Southeast Asia at this level, the region is becoming a genuine powerhouse. This isn't just a one-off. The talent coming from the East is real, it's developing fast, and it's here to win major titles. We also need to give credit to Eala's coaching team. The tactical adjustments from the Osaka match to today were absolutely brilliant. They clearly studied the tape and found weaknesses. They noticed that Valentová struggles with low slicing balls and high kicking topspin to the backhand. Eala mixed these up.